So one of the main mechanics of Griftlands is that there are two decks of cards that you play with. There's a battle deck, a deck of cards that you use in combat. This is as big as I can get them. Interesting. And a negotiation deck, which is a deck you use in persuasion/negotiation. I've played like about 5 minutes off stream Captain Nerd Rage, not long enough to actually complete a combat, so I'm basically going in completely blind, and we're going to be discovering together just what it is that this game has to offer. So let's take a quick look at our battle deck. Cards have in their upper left corner, same as Spire, I think, or Spire on the other. You know, I can't picture a Spire card. Is it upper left or upper right? And why can't I picture it without actually looking at one? I don't know. Anyway, costs are in the corner. At the top is the amount of damage the card does. So Elbow Strike is our basic strike card. It does 3 damage, and it looks like you can upgrade cards. So yeah, play this card 4 more times and it'll be ready to upgrade. So cards, you have to play them repeatedly in order to upgrade them. And when this card levels up, it chooses from a random pool of cards. Interesting. Is that true for Feint as well? Yes, when this card levels up, it chooses from a random pool of cards. See, people always expect the daggers. That's why I hit them with the elbow sometimes. Okay, looks like there are cards that deal random amounts of damage. Stabs deal between 2 and 5, so that'll be interesting. It is left as well in Slay the Spire. Oh, good. I'm not going crazy then. What level of backseating or guidance am I amenable to from chat? The nice thing about getting alpha access is that I'm probably the only one who's played this, at the very least. I'm free, like, suggestions, speculations, whatever. Everybody's welcome. We're all at the same skill level here, and I'm not going to, like... I'd rather we explore this all collaboratively as a shared experience, rather than be like, I want to never hear input from anybody else, because I'm trying to preserve my own unique experience, but that's not the goal here. If I wanted to do that, I would just play it off-stream privately. I'm sharing it all with you so that we can all create an experience together. So, by all means, if you've got something that you think is a valuable contribution, then spew it forth into the chat. It's dirty. Improvise a card from a pool of special... What do you mean, a pool of special cards? That's frighteningly generic phrasing, but... And it upgrades to improvise a card from a pool of 5 special cards, which... We don't know how big the pool is normally, but we know it must be less than 5. Probably 3. This seems like a discovery card. Or improvise a card from a pool of upgraded special cards. Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. So it's like you upgrade either the number of cards you look at, or preemptively use Preemptive Potion Reminder. Thanks, Jed. Or choose upgraded cards. I like that. So it looks like most cards have 2 different upgrades. Sells combo daggers or sells bloody daggers. Alright, alright. And then what's in our negotiation deck? I just want to take a quick look at it. Composure. So Composure is block for the negotiation game. Fast Talk deals 1 to 3 damage. And card types. So the Fast Talk and Threaten are very similar, but there are different cards of type. Negotiation card, Basic Diplomacy. Negotiation card, Basic Hostility. Okay, so Threaten is a Hostility card. Fast Talk is a Diplomacy card. Deflection is a Manipulate card. So those are the 3? Huh. We mean cards out of energy. What? Do I want to know what that means? I'm not sure I want to know what that means. Whereas the battle deck has attacks and maneuvers, and that's it? Interesting. Just promise me if there's a dig option, I won't hesitate. I can promise. Any opportunity we get to dig, we will dig. Some cards can be upgraded multiple times. Okay. Let's get started here. Oh, is my mouse off center? My mouse is off center. Okay. Because of course it is. Okay, now the mouse is fixed. Huzzah. That happens sometimes, Bloodbane, when I put games into windowed mode. It has happened with at least 3 or 4 different games. And it's something about the interaction of OBS with the computer. Baffling. Very baffling. Alright, Sal in Murder Bay, let's...
You've never been one to back down from a
Start.
challenge. You enter the Grog and Dog. Shrugging off the weird sense of deja vu that hits you. First thing is to find your old friend Fish, who might have a lead on where to find Cascio.
What do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish. The Groggendog has its charm. The patrons look lively, and the floorboards creak like a well-fed toad. There you are. I started to think you might have gotten mugged before you even made it through the door. Well, this is Fish. Does have no eyes. Your faith moves me. Shh. But I do feel ready for a fight. Like, my blood is pumping, you know? Looks like we've got, kind of like Wikipedia links embedded in our dialogue. So when we see a colored text, we can mouse over it for a little bit more information. But I do feel ready for a fight. Like, my blood is pumping, you know? Should serve me well up against Cascio. Cascio being, I think, the person who sold us into slavery, originally. Is the backstory of this character. First breath of air in 10 years, and you get straight to the point. But you won't get nowhere without making some friends. Get your bearings, and maybe tomorrow we can talk about Cascio. Let me give you something. People leave the damnedest things behind the bar. Fish will give you something every time you start over. Oh, so here's our starting bonus. Fish? Being given blessings at the start of a run by a fish? Being given blessings at the start of a run by a whale? I'm getting an odd sense of deja vu here.
Commander, one of our most valued supporters, says continued support of the XCOM
Chronometrics, thank you so much for those 10 months of council support. How's it going? 2 more months until you get a sub badge that I haven't fucked with you about. I haven't intentionally messed with. Thank you so much for that long-standing support. And in return, enjoy your renewed smug sense of superiority. Yeah, not only are we a lady, Jin, but we are a lady who is wearing responsible amounts of clothing. Not even responsible, like appropriate. Will we see another XCOM run on stream? Oh, how's it going, Ghoster Cool? Oh my gosh. Long time no see. Holy moly. I remember you from the very old days of the stream. Awesome to see that a few of the old guard are still lurking around. I don't know how likely it is that I'll do another XCOM 1 or 2 run. Certainly any runs, or any new XCOM style games. Like if Firaxis makes another XCOM game, I'm 100% going to play it. And I'm going to be playing stuff like Phoenix Point and Xenonauts 2. I would like to check out both of those as well when they come out. Yeah, Decavash is yeah, Decavash was like a word with me. Does this sway with my mouse? Oh, it does. So I have control over how uneasy Jin feels. That's pretty cool. So our options are Receive the Amnesiator. The next card played is played twice, then destroy it. Destroy it for 1 use. Interesting card design. I like it. So, destroy removes a card permanently. So you play a card twice and then lose it forever. Hey, Stark Devi, this is literally the first decision that the game is presenting us with. XCOM-like combat in a Civ-style setting. I have not checked out the new Age of Wonders Kuiki, but that sounds really cool. Rugged compression gear. Increase max health by 8 and max resolve by 2. So we have 6, so that's a max health upgrade. 65 goes to 73. Probably that's pretty good. I mean, we know from Spire that max health is nice in that game, but we can't necessarily take that kind of knowledge into a different game. We don't know exactly how useful max health is, like in Spire. Part of the reason that max health is super useful is that most healing values are based off of your max health. So having more max health means you get more healing. Or we can take 2 healing vapor cards. At the end of turn, heal an amount equal to mending, and reduce mending by 1, so that's regeneration. Card gets... When this card is drawn to the card, so it doesn't take up hand space, and remove it permanently. 6 mending, so that is 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. 21 hit points if you optimally use it. I don't like the max health. These cards that remove themselves from the deck permanently after we get used, not knowing how long a run is, I'm not sure how useful they are. You could call them really similar to potions, I suppose. Try to destroy all our crucial cards by accident. Just the Amnesiator counts as removing a card, so that's the other starting bonus. Take the compression gear. Very handy. Let's see if we can ask about stuff. Let's have some good old-fashioned dialogue. Let's ask about Cascio. We're apparently hunting Cascio. You lined up work for me real fast. You some kind of mover here? Nah, I just know people, and people know me. You don't need to go after Cascio, kid. I've got enough work to keep you busy. I spent my childhood in a Lewin pipe because of her. And now she's worth more money. Did I refer to Cascio as male, by the way? Excuse me. Now she's worth more money than either of us can count. And she's more dangerous than either of us can figure. You go after her, and she'll clap back with a knife for each kidney. I may have extras to spare, but you only got 2. I worked a lifetime of debt in 10 years just so I could come back here and settle the score. If you were my friend, you wouldn't be telling me to drop it. Oh, Hesh. Hesh? The cult's god of the abyss, believed to live deep under the ocean. That ain't what I meant. You know it ain't. You a roof, a bed, and at least one good meal a day. You live your life the way you want. It's yours. I'll pay you back. I know. Let's get you to work. After I inquire about you. I'm not sure how much dialogue there is in the game. So I wasn't originally intending to give it, like, full-on voicing like I did for SteamWorld Quest, but maybe I should. So what do I owe you for this, fish? Cut of my takings? Hesh, no. I left my bounty hunting days behind me. I owed your parents once. I don't like leaving debts unsettled, even to dead folks. Lots of dialogue? Okay, I can do voices then. Why not? Why the heck not? They were decent people, South Helen. Hey, we learned our own last name. Excellent. Oh wait, we have bio over here? Okay, hold on. Watch you don't end up like them. You know, even when you pay off your debts, the Derrick still owns your name. I'm an Ick Derrick now, or so they tell me. Both the offshore Lewin platform and the indentured laborers who work there. Oh man, an offshore platform. That sounds like a harsh life. Yeah, that's a messed up bladder rack, though. Sold as a child to the Lumen Derricks out in the open sea, Sal was destined for a life of hard labor. But she was small and quick and smart, and she made herself useful to powerful criminals until she grew clever enough to collect on bounties instead. Alright, who's this Havaria? Help me get my bearings. It's been a long time since I was last in Havaria. Oh, Havaria's a place. A largely unsettled continent on the western side of the Hessian Sea. It's dirty and broken, like always. If debt brokering was bad when you were a kid, it's worse now. Half the population is indentured, and thems that hold contracts sell them to pay off their own. No wonder customs were so uptight on my way back in. Must be a lot of fraud. That ain't the half of it. The Admiralty is pushing for an official annex. Deltrian military force, occupying Murder Bay. You've been on offshore rigs, the view is nice? Yeah, I can imagine. It would be an incredible view on an offshore rig. They want to make everyone real Deltrian citizens, with paper and everything. In Havaria? You're choking. They say it'll stop illegal debt brokering. Now anyone with a hand in labor contracts is real ornery. From the poor to the powerful. You can imagine the reaction. And we have additional dialogue options in our tree. Hey, Green Bootson. Pick a job. Yeah, it is my current objective. But why pick a job when I could ask about the annex? The annex can't be a popular move. Most come here to get away from the Admiralty. It ain't. Both the Spree and the cults are in arms about it. The spree, because they're criminals. The cult, because they profit off the labor more than anybody. And my phone... not on silent, excuse me. Spree, a loosely organized collection of bandits, crime rings, and illegal debt brokers. And the Cult of Hash, the dominant religion. So the church, basically. Okay. They worship an abyssal jellyfish god. I like it. Sounds like my kind of religion. No need to tell me that. The cult's holding a big shindig in a few days. Their usual wheelin' and dealin' in the name of the divine. Word is, the Admirality's gonna use it to make their proposition. Mandatory citizenship. It's gonna need to be a mighty good pitch to convince the cult, and I wouldn't put it past the spree to set fire to the whole affair, if they can. Shh, casts a dour eye over the bar, like a garden on the near side of the water. Of winter, excuse me. Suffice to say, kid, tensions are real high. Be smart to keep your head down, instead of looking for trouble. Advice is welcome, Green Budson. I don't have a no backseating policy in place for this. I may or may not follow any advice given, and I'm very likely going to experiment, or if I think I see an opportunity to break the game's mechanics, I'm going to just follow that as hard as I can. I imagine this is going to be a little bit more robust than Deck of Ashes, but I'd love to know if there's some broken stuff to play around with. Alright, let's get some work. Got people in my pocket who owe me a favor. Lux, Grex, and Kita. They're easy to people to find. Tell them I sent you, and they can settle their tabs by giving you work. Get that done, and I'll give you a plate of popped Oshnu eyes on the house. Domesticated giant snail used for food, transport, and entertainment. You? Bless your warty hide, fish. Hold you to that. Alright, let's pick a job. So here's our app, question mark. Wow, that's a lot of color. My eyes are like struggling to process all of this. Dominance over influence in negotiation and bleed over combo in fights. Seems simple enough. So there's the Grog and Dog. Quest available. Recon in force. 1-star, focus on combat. Investigate a wilderness location for signs of illegal activity. We get $60 dues. Shills are apparently the currency. Currency of Havaria. Middleman, focus on negotiation, is 60 health, and gives us a health restore upon completion. Convince Veep to complete his transaction with Kita. Or Secret Shopper. Lux has a package ready at Trusty's outfitting, but can't pick it up. We get a card, and at the end we remove a card from one of our decks. We have to choose which deck we're removing a card from. That's amazing. That's amazing. Oh, is the bot not up? The bot is not up. Let me fix that. Bot, why you do this? I don't know how good a card award is. I think a card award's gotta be better than 25 gold. Go secret shopping. Mysterious figure approaches me. Zimin, a bile broker's chemist, and he's got an entire bile. Hey, I was promised that nothing would be in the space game. Do I report this? Because this is a clear violation of streaming mode. Going behind my back, literally, game. Alright, well, I refuse to read that under principle, whatever it says. Greetings, Grifter. You look like you could use an edge. Got 2 already, friend. I don't Oh. Oh! I get it. Haha! You're referring to your swords. I'm referring to specially imported battle goods from the Rolak, which is maybe how that's pronounced. You interested? We can buy serrated dirk, Battle card. Unique item. Apply 3 wound, insert Rolak Karambit into your hand. Wounds. Attacks inflict 1 bonus damage on this target at the beginning of the turn, reduce the wound by 1. Okay, so it's kind of like vulnerability. And then bleed. At the beginning of the turn, take damage equal to the count of bleed, then halve the bleed count. So bleed works like poison, but halves instead of going down by 1. If I ask about the price, I guess we get dialogue or decline the offer. It looks like a pretty good card compared to everything that's in our battle deck. I hear you on the smallness, by the way. Like, cards are a little smaller, I think, than is easily readable on smaller screens. I think I'm definitely taking this, but do I inquire about the price? Sure. That's suspiciously cheap. What's the deal? You may take the deal or leave it. My reasons are my own. Alright, well, I'm gonna take it. I'll take it. Thank you. Please use this knife responsibly that you got from a guy in an alleyway who approached you. Sweet. We have a serrated dirk. And now I can actually change my destination. I'm not committed to where I was originally headed, but let us go there. Oh, there's so many things I can click on here. So Lux is our contact. Guards this location. Is a patron here. Ash is a patron here. And how do I pronounce this in a way that doesn't sound dirty? I'm not sure. Kokui. There, let's go with that, because that sounds sufficiently distinct from... The Hessians say a good food brings you closer to the divine. Koki could be a priest. Listen, I don't want any complaints about the bugs. Let's buy cards. Hip Flask. Gain 1 influence. Expend to destroy after 3 uses. Influence. All diplomacy cards deal maximum damage? Is what influence does? Interesting. Vial of Slurry. Gain an action. Wait, what do you mean gain an action? That's not a mechanic I'm familiar with. Alright. Or gain 1 power. So power's like strength. When you deal damage, deal an additional 1 damage. Glad you're liking the art style. Oh, action is energy. Okay, I got it. Alright. Let's do our job. The only thing more menacing than Alexa's reputation is her laugh. What are you looking at? I have a quest. You need something? Yeah, actually. I've got a special package on order at Trusty's Outfitting. Only problem is I'm banned from the premise. You pick it up and bring it back to me. We'll call it a job done. Accept. Alright, so as the starting bonus, we get to choose a card to add to our negotiation deck first. Calling in all favors. Double your influence. Gain 3 vulnerable. I don't think we have any influence, so that doesn't seem that good. Segue. Draw a card. Return the next card you play to your draw pile. Oh, cool! It's hand manipulation. Kind of like a rebound meets a Warcry. Or a damaging diplomacy card. Spend 2 influence to deal 4 bonus damage, but already does 2 to 3. Which is more than most of our other attacks. We have a way to... Oh, we do have a way to gain influence. Yeah, let's take Intrigue here. It's like a non-damaging rebound, yeah. Here's the cash I owe for the package. This ain't your pay. Bring me back what's mine, and there'll be more than this waiting for you. Understood? Sure thing. No problem. We can negotiate for a better deal which requires us to enter a mini combat on the negotiation side of things. Or we can improve our relationship with Lux for 60 shills. Interesting. Using the money that she just gave us, we can buy her a drink. Let's try to get a better deal. I'm gonna need a little more money. Convince Lux to pay you more. We'll gain 10 shills on a win. Okay. Interfaces are happening. So, core argument. If your core's argument's resolve reaches 0, you lose the negotiation. So we have to defend our core argument in order to win the conversation. And our opponent has the same thing. We have 2 intents. We know there's a similar but different intent system to Slay the Spire. Looks like she's doing 2 attacks for 3 damage and 1 damage. And what are these? Bounty. Bonus. When destroyed, add 70 shills to your bonus. Reduced by 25% at the end of your turn. When destroyed, Lux gains 1 impatience. If you lose the negotiation, you lose all the bonuses. Impatience makes the opponent much stronger, from the looks of it. This one's 39. Okay, so it looks like we can, if we really win the fight, we can get extra money out of her by attacking the bonus bounties here. They also make her stronger. Interesting. Interesting. So we want to block at least enough to not take 3 necessarily. We have 3 out of 3 actions, so that's our energy. 3 energy. We can... Not liking that we get a completely separate screen, but we can look at the draw pile, which is nice, as well as the discard and trash pile. I like it. So we probably want to block. Oh, we have to target? Oh man, this is going to get complicated later, I can tell already. So we block Arino, and then let us threaten her. So I can target any of the different things. So I think I want to take the core argument down to a very low number and then start going after the bonus ones so that I can finish the encounter at will while getting it as much bonus money as possible. I think that is the goal here. Become threatened. Aha! Maximum damage! Got her. So it looks like their value decreases every turn on the bonus objectives. Fair enough, fair enough. Excess damage dealt to an argument goes to the core. Good to know. Improvise a card from a pool of special cards. Lux is deploying an argument. Oh no, she's gonna make a new argument. Let us improvise. Incept? What do you mean incept 1 fluster? What? Give your opponent an argument that reduces their damage. So this is weaken. This is a weakening card. Do a little bit of damage and expend, or do a really random amount of damage and expend. The random damage. So I can probably just win right now. But I would like more money. Let's get that top argument. You're not as half as convincing as you think you are. Escalation. Increase count when a hostile card is played, adds 1 damage to all intents. Okay, so the enemy appears to be scaling up, which is probably the least surprising thing ever. Given that we've got a strong background in Slay the Spire, like most of the encounter designs in that game increase their power over time as you go. Right, we can kill their skilling, though. That's interesting. Well, I didn't draw any blocks, so I want to win this turn anyway. How about I give you another 39 shills? How about you do that? Can I maybe grab the 12, too? If I can do 5 between these two? I probably can, huh? If I roll decently. Oh, now I have to roll maximally? Aha! We got loot! And we pick a negotiation card. Gain 1 composure for every additional card played this turn. So this is composure is block. Gain 2 influence and apply 3 composure to your influence. What? I don't know. I don't quite understand what that means. Or double composure on all arguments. So double your block. And I guess your influence is an argument that your opponent can target. Interesting. Interesting. So hard facts at the moment is likely to be only 2 composure. If we compare that to our actual block cards, that's worse than our starter card. So I don't know how I feel about that. Influence decreases every turn. With composure, it doesn't increase. Or it doesn't decrease. Oh, I see. Interesting. We have use for influence, right? Yeah, we have, intrigue. So let's take Bill Rapport as another influence generator. Fine. Give you an extra 61 shills if you finish the job. That comes to 116, and you'd better not fail. Alright. Let us go to the job. You may have to do some convincing and /or stealing. Zeta, you've got a big-ass hammer. For a person who has friends, Zeta hasn't always been known to treat them very well. Hey? Can pay them to either look the other way, paying someone will prevent them from joining fights against you or helping your negotiation targets, or we can pay them to help us. So we bribe the guard to make this easier on us. Let's see. Might be a bit of trouble coming. You looking to make some cash? I can pay him to help me in a negotiation for 45 shills. Let's try it. Here, you know what to say? Say whatever you need me to, friend. Alright, let's negotiate with Lily here. Oh my god, that chin. How could I possibly negotiate against a chin of that size? I don't think it's possible. Word is, Lily would sell his own grandmother if he thought he could buy her back with his chin next week. Another day in the feud, hmm? I'm here to pick up a package. You know, anything about that? All I got here is a package for Lux, and she's not getting it until she pays off her tab. Her tab? Yep. I let Lex run it up long enough. Now it's 100 shills deep. You can either pay it off for 100 shills, convince him to sell me the package, which would require me to have 50 shills, or attack him, and the guard will help. So I need more money to complete the quest to get the money. Damn it. So my only option is currently to attack. And the guard will help him. I don't want the guard to help him. In fact, I would very much like to be helped by the guard in a negotiation. So I need some money. How do I get more money without completing this quest? Not sure that I can. It's like we've put ourselves in an awkward situation. Buy stuff here. Can I abandon the job? I think we're out money if I do that. Well, that's awkward. Let's just verify that there maybe is money I can get here. Might help me if we're in trouble. I get money somehow? Share a drink with him. Okay. So probably not. Well, in that case, I guess we're gonna fight. Because I don't see another option here. Yeah, I could have paid him 45 to stay out of the fight, but... oh well. Oh well. Pays us 160 for the job, and we have to waste 145 to complete the job. Yes! That sounds about right. Alright. Alright, time for attacking. Hopefully this goes well. I can tell you one thing, you want to hand that over before I have to hurt you to get it. Prepared to back up those threats, Hunter? Because you're gonna have to. Alright. You're about to fight for the first time. Would you like to see a quick tutorial? Nope. I think I get the gist of it. So we've got Wealthy Merchant Lily, who will panic after receiving 26 more damage. And Guard Zeta. Gains power after an attack damages a target. Starts with 1 power. And gain 1 power at the start of battle. This is a species boon. Okay, so because he's a Jirackle, he has a strength. Is he opening a Pokeball? I think he's holding money, but I'm not sure. So we're gonna get hit for a lot of damage and take a status effect. That is a lot of damage. I have a feeling like we're in a very bad situation here. Let us improvise a card. Gain 2 combo, expand, apply 1 cripple. Which is 1 turn of weaken, 33% less. Combo points are accumulated until they're spent by a finisher. We don't have any finisher cards, do we? Yeah, we don't have any finisher cards, so that doesn't help us. So we can we can draw and discard a card. This is prepared. Guess we're taking the weaken. Yeah, these do not seem very good. Suddenly I'm very grateful for my max health. I think we just go for the merchant straight away, rather than worrying about this guard. Though I am going to make the guard weak. Pocket Sand! Apply some bleed. So he's bleeding. We'll take a little bit of dot damage. And I'm just gonna shiv him a lot. Gunship Powder. My eyes are stinging. All your attacks have random targets? Oh no. Oh no. The guard's applying a status effect and the merchant's hitting me for 7. Uh-oh. The tall riding boots with short breeches is enough. Yeah, this outfit plus this face alone, like... I'm pretty justified in hurting him. Well, I might have random targets. But as long as I can just randomly get the correct one, everything will be fine. Alright, let's block. Alright, so the guard blocked is hitting us for 12? Oh my. This gets out of control very quickly. I have to do 14 more damage to this nerd. All attacks deal 2 bonus, so I can do 5 plus some. If Fight Dirty can improvise an attack card, I might be able to get him to panic. Oh, but I'm still hitting random things. How long does that last? Oh no. Oh, that's bad. Apply 2 wounds? Sure. And more damage. Alright, I'm gonna try. Yes! So he'll panic if I have a 50-50 chance to get him to panic here. If I can hit him. Must be hard for him to keep his chin up. Yeah, he keeps taking all these hits on the chin. Alright, I'm gonna try it. YOLO. Aw. I have been made tipsy. And I have been badly damaged. I am still randomly attacking targets. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's so bad. Got 7 power. So we just like YOLO and hope? There we go. Don't hurt me! He's unable to act, will act again in 3 turns. When attacked, lower this by 1. Okay, so we just keep swinging. No reason not to. Damn it. Am I trying to kill the merchant here? I don't know if I have to beat them both or not. Might as well finish off the merchant, and hopefully that's going to end the encounter. God damn it. Some bleed or something. Alright, well, I have not successfully attacked the right enemy. So I'm getting completely clobbered here. That's terrifying. Is he the only target? Ooh, maybe I can't randomly hit this guy. That would be really bad. I might just die. That might happen to me. Man, that is such a bad debuff. It does not wear off. Please hit the merchant. Thank you. I suspect that I have lost this fight. Slash this run. Yeah, I think so. Because I suspect now that the random attacks will never hit a panicking enemy. Oh my. 21 damage incoming. Will die this turn. Well, if death be it. So be it. Hit me! Game over, because we didn't have enough money. All right, let's start a new run here. That was a short and merciless run. True's your legacy. Your run has come to an end, but at least you can take something with you. Ooh, let's keep build rapport. Yeah. Start over keeping the build rapport card.
Someone made your life miserable. You kept tabs, called in favors, and stayed alert. You took them down and climbed out of the gutter they kept you in. Cascio was no different.
This is a roguelite, so every time we die, we do have to start over from the beginning, but looks like there's some bonus that you can carry over, some minor amount from run to run. Feels like I just saw ya. Knowing you, there's one thing you're after, that bounty. Alright, here's our starting bonus. Upgrade a negotiation card. Ooh. A boombox, 2 grenades. Spark grenade, which does 3 to 7 piercing damage. And the shrapnel brigade. Target all enemies, apply 2 wound, replenish. 2 exposed. Okay, so it applies wounds and reduces enemy defense. Or add a negotiation graft slot. Graft? We have slots for things called grafts. I don't know what those are. Let's upgrade a negotiation card. We can upgrade the build rapport, right? Ambush? Ambush automatically placed in your hand at the start of negotiation. Let's upgrade it to boosted rapport, 3 influence. And apply 3 composure to the influence. We've got a boosted rapper to start. Let's get some work. Influence causes our negotiation cards to deal capped damage. For a certain number of turns? For a certain number of cards? It's not clear, actually. Combat and negotiation. Focus combat, and negotiation. Okay, let's take Friend or Fanatic, I suppose. Kind of like Strength, but there are effects where Strength adds a flat amount. This effect will cause these random, so our cards deal from 1 to 4, it'll cause them to always deal 4. And yeah, it definitely seems like it could combo. Like if we find cards that have a high damage range, using this could make them very strong. Come across a lone traveling merchant. Rare sight on Havarian roads. Usually they're smart enough to travel with armed security. This guy looks oddly familiar. Hey, stranger. Nice day, isn't it? Oh, it's Lily. It is literally the same guy, actually. Roads are deserted except for you and your new friend. Listen, you traveling without a guard this time? I'm gonna get revenge. We're robbing this. We're robbing him. I'm just gonna take it. Lily hates you, because we robbed him. Fair enough. Please no, that'll ruin me. Well, you just ruined my face, so I think it's fair. I can take half their money. I can demand all his money. He has 50 resolve. That's a lot of resolve. They have plus 10 resolve because they're protecting their livelihood, and they have plus 20 resolve because they hate us. I like it. Or I can beat it out of him. I'm gonna beat it out of him. It's time for my revenge. Alright, yeah, he's all the same as before, pretty much. Hitting me for 11? No. I block. Now he's doing a 7 with a status effect. So I think we want to be applying bleed. Let's improvise. This does damage. Use that. Hiya! So I have 2 combo. Combo points are accumulated until they are spent by a finisher. Remove all combo at the end of your turn. Okay. So if you don't have a finisher in your hand, this is not useful. Are we the baddies? We might be the baddies. We might be. So this guy doesn't look like he scales up. So we want to be defending a lot of the time. Though he does apply essentially slimed into our deck. Because he's a jerk. Get that nerd stabbed upon. Looks like he does a fair amount of damage. Yeah, he does quite a bit of damage. Jerk. Panic after we deal 15 more. It's not gonna be 15. What do we got here? Gain 3 defense. It's like a crappier version. This Discover card doesn't seem like it's that good, the more I use it. It in fact seems relatively terrible. have a lot of choices here. Just give him the stabbins. Just give him the stabbins. Alright, so 6 more damage and he'll panic. We can do that this turn, so we should be able to prevent this attack from hitting me. We'll panic this turn. Oh, and he's gonna hit me? So I should probably block. Okay, no, that did prevent the attack. Alright. Kills target surrendered enemy. See you later, nerd. That's what you get for murdering me last time. Alright, some dude we've never met hates us because we killed his friend. New Social Bane active, Shiki. -2 to our max resolve. So that's our max health in negotiations. Choose one of 3 battle cards. Was there an accept surrender button? I didn't even see it. Actually, I just like murdered his face in. Which I think is fair. Alright, we got a new battle card. Discard up to 2 cards, gain 1 power for each card until end of turn. So it is flex meets discard cards. Interesting. Farewell, Mr. 5-Chin. Apply 2 bleed whenever you hit a target with an attack for the rest of the turn. Ooh, that one's pretty cool. Or if the target has bleed, apply 1 cripple and 1 wound. So, if the target is bleeding, we make them weak and vulnerable. Or we can also skip the card to gain 10 gold. That's pretty cool. It's like we always think of a singing bowl, except the singing bowl gives us money and doesn't sing. Take Gash. It's actually called Claw. Hey there, if you enjoyed that video, watch this one next. And before you go, join us on Twitch and watch live. I'm there 5 days a week playing Slay the Spire, answering questions, and chilling with the community. Click the link in the description to follow right now. Ta-ta for now.